Hey YouTube, Gordon Miller here. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about female entrepreneurs. I think that women have to understand that there are huge opportunities out there for them, and they're not really fully taking advantage of it. And I think it goes hand in hand with one of the videos that I just posted, which is the idea that self-esteem or self-worth yields net worth. You have to have a high confidence in yourself and a high opinion of yourself in order to be able to grow wealthy. I don't know of many people who have done it the other way, where they think they loathe themselves. Usually they self-sabotage and they keep themselves from being successful. So the most important thing to do is to make sure that you have developing your own self-esteem. And you know, it's interesting because most of the investors out there for the small businesses are white middle-aged men. And whether if you're in your 30s or 40s or 60s or 70s, it doesn't matter, depending on which industry and what part of the country, you'll find that majority of the investors are, you know, white men. That you know, that's not a racist comment or anything else like that. Certainly there are African American investors and they look for usually opportunities for African American entrepreneurs, and that's great. But I'm just saying, statistically, there are more white men funding deals than there are any other category. That said, I think that what women don't understand is that if they develop the self-confidence that they're capable of, and if they're intelligent and even attractive women, then they really do hold a lot of the cards. I'll share a secret. So, having been part of a number of groups, I do know that it's interesting because some of the investors that I've seen participate in some of these groups were willing to cut female CEOs a huge break. Because, well, it's not that they expected less of them. It's just that they looked past some of the glaring issues that likely would have demotivated them if it had been presented by somebody the same age who was a male, regardless if they were, what nationality they were or what color they were. And so I think women have to understand that there's a huge opportunity that they're not really seizing, that if they want to get involved, and in whether you're raising $40 or $40 million, there are investors that usually line up around the block to hear what you have to say. You'll get a meeting in a lot of cases before other people will. I know that from the folks that I've seen on YouTube that have created a following, or on Instagram or on Twitter, you can get thousands of followers just because you're female. There are plenty of 40-year-old guys living at home in their mom's basement that are willing to follow you. Well, you may not be able to convert that person to a sale, but that person may help spread the word about what it is that you've got, whether it's a product or service, and that person can be instrumental in helping leverage the momentum that you might have in a given industry. So I don't want people to misunderstand, but I think that women have a natural advantage over men. I think that men are much harder on each other. I know that when I look at a pitch, I try to look at the pitch itself. I don't evaluate whether it's a woman or not, or how old they are, or what color they are. It doesn't matter. For me, I look at the idea, and I do. If I know it's a submission coming from a woman, I may not be as rude to them as I might be to somebody else, and that's because I know. Understand that when I'm rude to you in a reply, it's designed to have two effects. Either one, it sort of snaps you out of your reality. That's the Tony Robbins thing of changing your state. So getting a response where I'm yelling at you and stuff like that, it's like, whoa, I got a response from Gordon, and man, it was off the charts. Well, yeah, that gets you to wake up and pay attention to it. And so part of that is designed to help have that kind of effect. The other one is that it's designed to piss you off. I can't tell you how many people have sent me stuff back in January and February, and I told them it was complete shit, and they then came back May or June and said, man, I made the changes that you had suggested. You really pissed me off. I was going to make sure that, that this thing was successful. And I worked my ass off for 6 months, and sure enough, we got funded. great. Hey, that's exactly what I want. I mean, I want you to get funded, whether I fund you or not. I mean, the idea is that you took my advice, you woke the fuck up, and you got out there and got the stuff done. That's what it's designed to be for you. So don't get all down on me because I'm mean to you. This is not going to be a safe place for snowflakes. So you have to have a pretty thick skin to be a successful entrepreneur. And if something I say to you bothers you enough to where you are upset, then there's no way in hell you're going to be successful. I mean, just not going to happen. So I would definitely encourage everybody to understand what the mechanics of these kind of opportunities are. And for women, out of the 6,000 submissions, I've gotten maybe 40 or so from women. Out of the 200 that were really good, about a quarter of those were from women. And of the 20, again, about 25% of the really good ones were from women. But you consider that. Consider the number of submissions is vastly higher for women. Yet out of the 20 deals that I want to do, 5 of them are from women out of the 20. And yet they're a fraction of a percent of the total submissions. So understand that I think that women research the ideas a lot more. They put a lot more thought and effort into it. They're not as lazy as guys are, frankly. And I think they have a real sense about things that they're connecting the dots and they're thinking about things more than most guys do. Guys are, we're pretty simple, it's about food and it's about sleep and it's about fun. And those 3 things are about the only thing that drive it. If guys didn't have to work, they wouldn't. There's just no reason to. But I know a lot of women who are driven to participate in something and be a part of something. And I admire and respect that. I think that that's important. So anyway, but I encourage more women to submit your ideas. Submit your ideas to ideas@g3.com, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. I love working with young entrepreneurial women. I think that you guys are much better suited. Women should be running the world. I think we'd have less issues. We can already see how that works in other countries where women do run the country. But, it's, in a testosterone-filled, pissing contest that we're having globally right now, we're going to end up with North Korea, China, Russia, and the United States all at nuclear war with each other because men are running the country. So, that's another topic. But anyway, look, I encourage women to get out there and participate. I look forward to reviewing your submissions. And if there's anything I can do to help, then please let me know. Thanks.